and artistry with respect to recordings and getting the self out there. Like your insight is like so deep and thorough, and a lot of artists don't really understand the mechanics and you know how to push the stuff, the items, the products. You know, so I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to have you. Yeah, what were you about to say?
Well, thank you. Well, I'd say if you say it's thorough, it's just because I love music. So in order to love music, you've got to love it entirely, you know. So it's not like music's just a thing I hear. Music's a thing I study. Whether it's the theory, just to play an instrument, whether it's the theory of how the business operates, everything. You know, that's how much at a young age I love music. I went all out and get yourself educated in it. You know, from your elementary school to you know, high school to college to whatever, you get yourself educated. But then again, that doesn't mean all, because some people are not, they're just naturally talented. But if you're not naturally talented, just to make sure, you better know everything and know the details. So it's my love that says I want to know everything. You know, feel it, and you'll get that insight, and it'll take you out. That's what will take you with music. I think anyone successful, they love it. Yeah.
I feel you. I mean, also like the people know, like, when did you start all this music stuff? Like, when did you learn about
music? I started music. If it's the business end of things, I would say professionally for the past 10 years. And if it's in regards to just the theoretical side, playing instruments and stuff, I'd say that's like a good 20 years. Because I mean, I've studied anywhere from flute to saxophone to guitar to piano. And you know, and then vocals as well. So it was just a theory. I had to know, like, okay, I want to pick up some sheet music and read it. But that's not a guarantee, because you know, you got people like Paul McCartney who can't read music, but you know, he's the biggest, one of the biggest selling artists of all time, right? So the theory means nothing. But with myself, that was my involvement, and I went from theory in high school to saying I wanted to do an internship. I wasn't going to go do anything boring. I went to a record label, and the only doors that open up, it's not going to be your Universal or whatnot here in Canada, if you're lucky. I don't know how people get in there, but I got in with an independent label. I mean, it wasn't the greatest place, but I didn't waste time to find out very valuable information.
You made your mama proud.
Well, not even. I don't think my mother even likes music, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I got, you know, I got the insight. Like, I went there, I wasn't there to make friends or rub shoulders or go to all the, you know, the industry stuff. I just said, I want to know how the machine works. You know? Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I'm just thinking about the beat items that we was talking about. You were saying something about like the Toronto beat makers. They good. They got product. They're just not getting it out there.
Yeah.
I want you to lend yourself on that topic right there. Like,
well, for one, you know, Toronto has a lot of talent. I mean, once upon a time, I messed around with making beats and, you know, did some stuff, got out there. Haven't saying I've stopped. You know, right now, I've just delegated my role in a different position as far as the production process goes. But Toronto artists, I think they just need to, or even, you know, people make instrumentals in general. A producer always has to be in the light of very real musicians. I took that from my own experience. I made beats and worked with artists who, you know, they didn't have that it, as they call it, you know what I mean? And I think they weren't as real, as genuine. And then when I networked with some artists, unfortunately they happened to be from the States, it was just like so real to whatever it is I was trying to create, that when the two forces came together, beat and lyrics, it was just up the middle. It was absolute magic, right? So Toronto producers have to, I think, just get out there and, you know, really know how to find great artists and match the pair and two. Yeah.
And you were saying something about, like, a lot of them too, like, should watch how they distribute their product with respect to artists they work with. You know, stop getting out there just giving out your beats. You gotta understand that you got a name with your beats. You give it to artists that are not serious about the game. They thought they work on YouTube or whatnot, which is a good viral media place to promote activity, but you gotta have people downsize what you're doing, right? So,
yeah, definitely. I mean, that once again is one that goes across the board to people who are in Canada and the States as producers. And as I said, I speak of this not just of you know, big words, but I think it's just from experience as myself. When I was a younger producer, you can have a hot beat, producers sit there for hours, just make things off the love, and you could give it to an artist and it's the wrong artist, and you know, then you don't get any progress, and this is something that's attached to your portfolio and your reputation. Your reputation's everything. So the whole thing is, you know, it's hard, you know, maybe get out there, get a job, do a little side hustle or something like that, and basically don't prioritize that anybody with big money can come up and necessarily buy your music. Just sort of always connect it with the right artists. That's the most important thing. So that even with Toronto artists, and then not even to just feel that their stuff's right just because this is something that who's around, just know your stuff is in the right hands.
Yeah. Or just get a Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just, you find a Drake, you good.
Yeah, exactly. and he's definitely he's one of those experiences where I felt like how do you say it? If I would have known better, you know, I've heard people say that because I did see him along the way. And
you knew Drake before you even blew.
He's just another case in point of an artist as a producer that, you know, you just see the right person, and you know, like I said, that was one. Just seeing him around, just slept on that one, you know. So as a producer, you always go. There'd be more. You just gotta move on, you know. But he's just the one. I wouldn't say he's the one. He's just common to all the people who are successful. From what I observed, it seems like a serious artist. Yeah.
Good. And, like with respect to artists in Toronto, any specific artists you think that people should be looking out for?
I've heard a lot of stuff about Rima Major. She just happens to be
G record. How's it go?
G7 or something.
G7
like
records.
I just found it very natural. What she does, how she flows, the beats she goes over, and you know, on top of it, she's like from the part of the world I'm from. She's East African, so I took a little bit of interest. She's from like the, you know, like same region, and I was just like, okay, wow, that's somebody from back home who's doing it out here. You know, and
so I didn't even know that. I thought she was Jamaican. Every artist, anybody that's black, that's an artist. I'm assuming he's Jamaican all the time, unless you tell me otherwise. I didn't know she was from Africa.
Oh yeah, surprising.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if people want to like get like, what line of work do you do specifically?
Wow, that's wearing many hats.
Okay.
And you know,
no, in terms of like people wanting to look for you, because you got expertise in a lot of things, right?
The immediate thing you can always hit me up on is you know, if you have a project and you know you're an artist and what you want to do is really have beats and music that really works for, you know, the world out there. I think I have a good ear for that, you know, and so, you know, if you want to put it in simple terms, it's production management. In that sense. So I'll do just you know, it's supervision of other producers, you know, because obviously know the process of how music is made. You know, you have producers who necessarily just make instrumentals, and then you've got guys who can write, and you've got people who can sing, and not necessarily all those people have those skill sets unless they're like a phenomenal person or a phenom, I should say, like you know, like someone like, I don't know, if I drop names, I don't want to offend people. People who write their stuff.
I'll say the names. I'll go ahead and say the names.
Those people who I wish I had the talent, the same move. They write their own stuff. They make their own beats, whatever. But if you don't hold up your show and just to have the credit, give it to the next man in line. You know, and that's what I can say. It's something that, you know, I could just withhold that information. But that's just general knowledge. You know, teamwork makes the dream work. You know, as corny as that sounds, but. So that's in myself, just in order not to stifle projects, I call on a lot of resources as a production manager. So if it was like any artist, really needs to have a lot of energetic music, I will go across the world to look for producers from, you know, Amsterdam to Australia to the States. You know, that's a given, to Canada, but you never know where that next crazy producers. Actually, I did bump into a producer in Amsterdam who is phenomenal. You know, so you never know. You never know. You can look at it. You can look at it lightly, but so that's it. Just to call on many resources, just to make sure that the artist who's in the studio always has hot beats.
Yeah. I feel you. I want to also ask you, man. Like, I got every artist coming in the booth, and I ask them the same question: what's in your tape deck? Like, what you listening? And I figured you was listening to Toronto artists. What you got on your tape deck? Is it Toronto or is it south of the border? Down south?
Yeah, as I said, mine at the end of the day is I love music.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes I can even tell people in my tape deck there's not even rap, hip hop or anything like that.
Okay,
that's like just what I know inside out. That's instinctual. But in my tape deck, you might find I've caught on to some new stuff like chill wave. But yeah, if you say like everybody out there right now, I would say I don't want to really take sides, but I like it all, man. I love music too much to just, you know, as long as it's hot, I'm on it. You know, I like a lot of colorful stuff. So, that's what I could say is that in my tape deck is everything.
I ain't mad at you.
Everything that's good. It's in my tape deck. You know.
Listen, man, I ain't mad at you. It's your boy Phrase. Yeah. I think we about there at the time limit. I got throwing a couple commercials right now.
Okay.
I'm glad to have you up in the studio, Bandai Studio. We not in the cold room. We in the green room right now. But it's all good. It's all good. You feel me? And yo, I mean, glad to have you. Another day, another dollar. You gonna come back in? We gonna do it big.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?